I'm not gonna shake this thing. We're gonna tear this thing up.
It looks like a Hot Wheels car.
I can't even put a piece of paper in between.
The front's just going right and left.
And it is a party in the back.
Get me off of this thing! Did it go through my shirt? Yep.
Look what I did. We're adding a second engine to the sketchiest go-kart on eBay to try to beat its track record.
Or destroy it trying.
That's right, we're talking 15 times the original output, from 3 horsepower to 45. This chassis is already holding on for dear life. In the last video, this thing arrived mangled and broken. Look at the wheel, the thing is already smashed. The chassis is made out of thin, questionable material, and it has some of the sketchiest welding I've ever seen. However, once we swapped this Tillotson racing engine onto it, it was undeniably extremely fast.
As y'all can see right here, you can see this front end is twisted pretty bad. I doubt it's from John's wreck. Are you alright, buddy? I'm pretty sure it's from shipping. This thing came in a mangled box. So first things first, let's try to straighten this thing out.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh God,
Watch out.
I've already bent it.
Oh.
That is some ultra thin tubing there.
It didn't even straighten it out.
I bent it in 2 places, man. That's bad.
Oh, this thing's begging for more power.
If you say so,
What's
man.
the worst that could happen?
Who's gonna ride it first? I'm not.
So as you can tell, this go-kart is gonna need some serious modification if we want it to survive with both of these racing engines. In fact, we're just gonna scrap the entire stock rear axle and we're gonna build something much stronger from scratch. We're starting with a Go Power Sports 1-inch axle that's almost twice as beefy as the one that's there. We have this thick wall, big diameter tubing to provide a strong foundation for our engine plates, as well as this tube. We're gonna show you what all this looks like after we get it in our lathe and do some machining. So let's get to work. Our new axle housing design is similar to the original, but with a few key changes. Most importantly, it's about 50% larger overall, featuring heavier duty tubing, larger bearings, and of course a larger axle to give it a fighting chance at surviving this twin engine monstrosity. Our new axle assembly is mocked up and it looks really unique. I've never seen anything quite like this. We need to weld these pieces together. This is where our bearings go, and then we can start mounting tabs to install it on the back of this go-kart. We're using a Go Power Sports live axle kit, sprockets, hubs, the really nice vintage looking Go Power wheels, and we're upgrading from these 10-inch tires to these 15s. So everything about the back of this go-kart is getting 50% more. Well, twice the power, but 50% more tire, 50% more strength in the sprocket and axle. I'm really liking where this is going. Let's get it welded up and get some tires mounted. When you're welding around bearings, it's important first off to not weld around bearings. Cover. Secondly, when you do find yourself welding around bearings, it's important to just get a couple of tacks on there and then remove the bearing when you can, as to not overheat it and melt all the grease in there. Here's the finished welded product. Let's take a look at what Ike is doing on the lathe. Hey, buddy. Hey. Working hard or hardly working?
Working. This is definitely not the way to be making these axles, but you know, it looks kind of cool. So it starts off looking like this, and I just turn it down, and it turns out pretty cool. So before, after. It's not perfect, but it looks a lot better.
It's gonna be a great 20-footer.
Than before.
Why does that thing remind me of a shake weight?
I'm not gonna shake this thing. Looks more like a mag light to me. Not bad.
Like, how many likes would this video need to get in order for you to use a shake weight? Hypothetically speaking. I mean, we only, you know, I'd say 500 would be a, you know, a pretty good goal. No.
1,000.
1,000 likes?
If we get 1,000 likes, I'll use a shake weight for 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Zach, we got him, dude.
We totally.
Yeah, the last video we posted has 7,500 likes. That means I have to buy a shake weight.
I'm gonna go create 1,000 YouTube accounts.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, perfect. A used shake weight. That shake weight's really gonna help you take things on and off the axle. That is so sick.
That's legitness. Alright, all of a sudden I'm just kind of regretting making this axle so nice. Because we're gonna tear this thing up.
Heck yeah.
Maybe we can use the axle on something else.
I'm sure we can.
Yeah, because it looks pretty good.
These wheels are about 50% larger than the old ones. We're gonna have this awesome,
Let's put a spacer, this collar, double stack. This ought to give us enough room to get clearance for our brake caliper.
Yeah, we have to leave plenty of room for the caliper to grab that rotor.
I think that's it. It looks like an old hot rod.
It looks like a Hot Wheels car.
Yeah, it kind of does.
We're building a rideable Hot Wheels car.
Problem with it being a little bit higher with the bigger tires is it's a little bit more top.
Tip hazard.
Yeah,
You gotta be careful, man.
yeah.
That is so awesome.
I'm glad you approve.
This is an axle fit for 45 horsepower. Look how much beef it is compared to the old one, man.
Oh, it's definitely bigger. Sprocket looks pretty good. The brake looks pretty good. The rotor looks pretty good. I think we're ready for setting this thing up on blocks, removing the old rear axle, sliding this other one up there, welding it up.
So the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
How is this gonna work with our suspension if we have an axle that's two separate pieces?
Unknown, but I have a theory. So we're gonna have an upper and lower link mounted to the right side of the axle, and we're gonna have an upper and lower link welded to the left side. I think it's gonna hold up just fine. I think we're gonna have a little bit of funny movement on our articulation. I think one engine is gonna move separately from the other one in a funky way. I'm excited to see what happens. This rear end looks pretty good to me, this rear axle. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to lift this cart up to where it's about the height that we need for this, and we're gonna remove the rear axle and slide this one in there and weld some tabs on and see if we can get it to bolt up.
They look about level.
That looks about right. Look, when you undo one, look at the...
So is that what we're gonna have with our new axle?
No. See, we just keep the triangulated braces. We won't have that. The second you undo one and you turn it into a 3-link, this is what you get. Oh, we got a brake line still on it. We need to take this before we rupture the line.
How those bushings looking?
You can tell they've been beat on, but they're still intact. This one's ripped. Oh yeah, this one's ripped.
Ah, so we ripped the bushing with 24 horsepower.
Yeah.
Wonder how it's gonna like 45.
It's not gonna like it at all. It's really gonna love this brake.
We're upgrading it, dude. There's no way.
Check it out. Why does this thing feel so... I think we've been an axle.
Nice.
I mean, it's we done something, dude.
Yeah, here, let's see if we can hear it.
Yeah, we did something. Oh yeah.
Hot Wheels look, boys, I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Dude, look at, she got the rake going on.
It's gonna look even better with twin engines. Dude, How about that?
Sure they'll fit.
They're gonna fit. We'll make them fit. We have new super thick tabs. That's how we're gonna mount this thing. We don't want it going anywhere.
So I guess we're gonna have to set up one side first, and then the other. Mine's on the ground. My side.
Mine's off the ground.
It's that twisted front end, dude.
It's all right, we can just tune it out, right? That's bad.
Yeah, it's the twisted front end. So the front right is lifted higher, so it's 3-legging right now.
Jeez.
Oh, now I'm off the ground. I say we extend it a little bit by doing that. Rocking these tabs backwards. Looking good, looking good. So our lowers are tacked in place. All we have to do is put in the tops.
You like that?
Yeah.
I don't think it's the axle we have to worry about anymore. It's the links and everything
Definitely.
forward of that.
I'm gonna pull out on this a little bit. Trying to make it even on both sides.
Yeah. That is tight clearance right there, man.
It is. Cover. You ready?
Yep.
Weld. There's that one. Now we just got to mimic the other side.
We have a 4-link again, boys.
So it's got a little bit of a walk on the rear. I see. So it'll allow the way we have it set up, it'll allow the rear end to kind of do this a little bit. But if we tighten up these, it should stop it. Makes me wonder if the Heim joints are gonna work. I mean, it's looking pretty cool, dude.
Should. Yeah, no, it looks great. Axle's all welded in. Now let's do a bounce test and see what we think. The split axle housing is gonna be crazy, I can already tell.
None of the bolts are tight, so it's gonna be a little loose.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Still uncomfortable.
Yes. It's not gonna get any better.
You know, it feels exactly the same,
It should.
with the exception of having a little rake. You can tell you're doing a little
Yes.
nosedive at all times.
With the bigger tires on the back.
I think it's gonna work.
I think it's gonna be fine.
Awesome. What's next?
The engine plates. So mounting these engines is going to be a challenge because we have 28 inches between the tires and we have 29 inches on the engines, and it's basically touching in the middle. So it's going to be a lot of fun putting these engines on the back here. It's going to be pretty difficult, but we can do it.
Little cardboard-aided design.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I think that's going to be wonderful.
So we're going from this to that to this. All right, let's get these next door and cleaned up. Looks great.
Good.
That's what we want.
Yep.
It's tricky with 2 different tubing diameters, but we did it.
Yep. You did it. Just like that. One side and welded on the other. That was loud.
So loud.
Man, it looks legit.
Yeah, that is very unique. It looks like an upside down trestle bridge.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well, I say we tack weld these things together and both sides and figure out where they're going.
Let's take a look at engine number 1.
It's about what we're gonna get right here. Boy, it is so close to this tire, but it's clear. The belt's rubbing it, but I think the belt was rubbing on the last one.
We wanted to get this as low as possible
Yep.
because that's going to give us a lower center of gravity and better cornering stability.
Yeah.
So it's only about 1.5 inches taller than our last one, even though our tires are 5 inches taller.
All right, we got a problem here. I went ahead and I made this engine plate to mount up here, but we got a problem with this upper control arm. I am going to have to modify this. I'm gonna try to cut it out to clear this arm. We might have to make another one of these to put in there.
All right.
But
do your best.
I'll do my best.
Looking great.
That's the second engine plate. Looking good, dude.
There's your problem.
Yeah, that is a definite problem. Oh yeah.
That's much better.
We got the clearance.
Yes, sir.
That should work just fine. Put a couple adjustments on it.
Yep, brace it here, but other than that, looks good. This is such a bad idea, and I love it.
So the driver is going to be rubbing the pull cover on the other engine.
Oh my goodness.
He'll be all right.
Self-clearing.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
this thing is tight.
he ain't moving no more, dude.
No more wigglies.
No more wigglies.
Yeah,
This thing is tight.
that's rock solid.
Yeah. And side to side movement, the triangular braces and stuff.
Oh, it works, yeah.
They're holding everything tight.
Awesome. Let's weld our engines.
Sounds good. All right, let's see about getting this in place. Oh no, I have to move it back because of the pulley. 2 fat tacks on the front so I can let go and take
That
a
looks pretty flat to me.
All right, let them go.
I like it.
Taking a look.
The hardest part about setting one of these up for the first time is making sure your little sprocket is lined up with your big sprocket.
What happened to that alignment? So one of our subscribers hooked us up with a little chain alignment tool. Let's see. I think we ought to twin engine or triple, quadruple engine the world. What do y'all think? So we're going to be getting rid of the original braking system, and we are installing a larger brake master cylinder, line, and caliper. I have made a bracket right there to weld onto our axle. So we're gonna get this installed and weld up that bracket onto the axle, and we should have brakes. Oh yeah, and we're gonna have to route this line. We're doing the fuel system now. I just hooked up a T and splits it off to 2 fuel pumps. Hopefully we're not gonna have an issue of one pump pumping and pulling air out of the carburetor empty. It'll probably be okay.
Yeah, we've never tried it before, so.
No, there's a lot of things we haven't tried. But
Yeah, another thing we have never tried. Look at the clearance between the secondary and the tire.
I guarantee you it's gonna start eating the tire, but if it works, I don't care.
Yeah, we just need to keep an eye on it.
If it's an issue, we can put some risers underneath the engines and get them jacked up a little higher. I was trying to get it as low as possible, and might be a problem this time, but we'll find out. All right, boys, this thing is so tight together, I can't even put a piece of paper in between.
But you can see light through it. So it's got a gap.
We'll see what happens.
So we're gonna start this engine before we start that engine.
Right. Yes.
Am I in?
Yeah.
What have we done?
I mean, I knew it was going to do something like that, but
So because we have a split axle, now the engines move independently.
yeah. So we're going to be going around corners, and it's going to go, and it's going to,
It's gonna be a new one.
it's going to be interesting.
It's a new experience.
Yeah. As long as the axle doesn't move forward and backwards.
Yeah, I can't wait.
The front's just going right and left.
All right, this is going to be very interesting. We already said that we didn't know what was going to happen. Or I said it. Someone said it. They're only going to move forward and backwards. However, the rest of the cart is going to be doing some funky stuff. So
So it's like we have rear steer.
I hope not.
Oh, Lord.
The engines are welded and tight, chains are on, brakes are installed. The last major hurdle is going to be splitting our throttle from one twist grip to two carburetors. We did a 4-into-1 similar to this on our inline 4-cylinder go-kart. Go check that video out if you haven't seen it already. But we're gonna give you a quick rundown of how to split 1 into 2 throttle cables.
Here we have like the original style throttle, and we have the 2 throttles coming in at this point. We drilled a hole for the original cable to go through and 2 slots for each carburetor. Slide these into the slots, and then we put in a zip tie to hold it in place.
So we got twistage, and look at that.
They're not quite even. I wonder if that hole's a little offset.
It can be really hard to get them even, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be good enough. Like you said, we have progressive throttle.
Progressive throttle.
And we have wide open, so.
Yes. Yeah, so
We're
I
good.
don't know why we would want wide open on this thing, but you know. So we are just minutes from taking this thing for a spin.
Yes, sir.
I found out that this is like really close to the tire, but I opened it up and pulled it out. It does not touch the tire. So we have the kill switch wired up to both engines. And what I did was I wired up a couple of diodes on the ground circuit of the kill switch, and that should keep the engines from backfeeding to each other and not running. So should be good to go.
Business in the front,
Party in the back.
and it is a party in the back. I'm really thrilled with how this turned out.
It's some serious bitness going on there.
And we do have 2 mismatched engines. They're not even the same displacement,
No, they're not.
but they equal about 450.
Yeah. Gosh. On this little thing.
Yeah, so we have basically a 450, 45 horsepower we're guesstimating. Let's rip it.
Wow. Wait a minute. Remember how we bounced before and the engines would actually move, shift? Is it staying pretty much straight? Obviously, we did something a little different with our mounting locations on our axle, because before, when you do this, the engine would actually shift a lot more than it does now. It's almost perfectly straight. Wow.
That's a whole lot of horsepower right there, man.
Good luck, buddy.
Thanks.
Choke is on now.
Do you think it might not be getting enough gas with the T?
I think one of the engines is just prone to being cold longer than the other one. They're completely different engines. Yeah, we got one dead.
It just cut off. I feel like I don't have any throttle cable. Nope.
One engine.
Throttle cable.
We gotta fix that.
So that was a heck of a first test ride. Didn't go exactly as we thought it was gonna go because, well, we plucked an engine off the shelf that had been sitting up there a little bit too long. We're gonna have to clean out the carburetor. And we also lost one of our pull covers. The engine kicked back and it yanked our pull handle out from the string. So we're having to replace the pull cover on this engine right here. We're gonna slap this thing back together with some new shims that we're putting in between the axles, which is gonna space it out. And we're gonna go out for that next test ride and hopefully be a lot more successful. All right, engines are going back on. And we need to figure out how we're gonna bridge the two engines together. So I'll get the chain on it, get the bolts in it, and then we'll look into how we're gonna bridge them together. We're going to brace up the two engines together by the engine plates because we have these engines moving separately from each other, and we want to tighten that up. So we've come up with these angle iron pieces that are going to brace up underneath, kind of in a triangulated pattern, because we can't exit because the torque converter is in the way right here. So this piece is going to go across the engine. This one's going to go from the front to the back here, and that should tighten it up where we don't have to worry about these engines being separate. So let's get to bolting these things up, and they're removable too, which is kind of cool. So now that we have the engines back on, everything braced back up and looking good, by the way, Lucas, I'm taking the carburetor off, taking the bowl off, and I'm going to take a look inside and see why this thing is just not running well at all. My guess is it's just been on the shelf a little bit too long with some fuel in it. So a little bit of brake clean, blow some air through it, should be good to go. Get that dirt out before I drop the bowl. It looks fine. So we're just gonna blow it out and see what happens.
You'll be fine for the gravel.
Sounds good. So now that we got everything put back together, check this out. We have clearance between our driver and the valve cover, or the pull cover, which is awesome. We also put in a brace, which helps keep the engines moving together rather than separately. Got the carburetor cleaned out and it's running great. So I say it's ready for a ride.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah! Yeah!
Oh my God. Oh. Jesus. This thing is uncontrollable.
The rolling wheelies are insane.
Yeah.
Whoa, when this thing comes alive, is crazy. Whoa!
Looks like it was trying to lift the front end.
Slightly, yeah. It's a little light up there.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
This thing is insane. The fact that it was picking up the front tires at speed.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it is. Here, hit it.
Get me off of this thing.
That is awesome.
Got oil.
Oh, there's a ton of oil. I think it's just coming out of here. We lost the our hose.
Oh. Oh no.
Yep.
Oh. It's Carhartt.
Yeah. Straight to the wash.
That's why I buy store brand, brother.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Oh god. Did it go through my shirt?
Yep. Right there. No!
This is one of my good shirts.
I can get another one, dude. Oh.
Get the brake clean up.
What do you think?
It is terrifying.
Yeah?
Yeah. It is so terrifying.
The bouncing wheelies while you're throwing rocks is insane.
Yeah, dude, like you can be doing like 25 miles per hour, maybe 30, and just crack the throttle and it just picks up the front tires. The top speed on this thing is too fast.
Heck yeah.
Somehow everything seems tight and nothing's broken under here. Like, I have never seen you carry a wheelie that far. That was like a probably 60-foot wheelie.
Uh-huh.
And I've never seen a front end slam down as hard as this one slammed down.
It came down hard.
I'm not often like trying to delay my test drive, but I have been on this one. I'm scared.
Hey man, as long as you respect it, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, hard to predict.
Yeah.
That's light.
Yes, it is.
Let's do this.
All right, dude, be careful. Yeah.
Wow. It feels about the same handling wise. Wow. Wow. I didn't think this thing could get any crazier, but it did. That's a swamp back here. Total swamp. They sound different. Are we still hooked up and everything?
Oh. No. All right. Yeah. We got a problem. We snapped. We got to fix a key. We lost the key.
So right here,
Yeah,
we
it's
no
just
longer have
spinning.
a key. So that just, are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, all it's doing is spinning.
That just, so we're not even getting any pull out of that engine.
Nah.
How long has it been like that?
Well, actually probably a couple. I heard it like go wide open a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he spinning?
It's crazy how controllable it still is. Like the chassis, the suspension still feels good. There's clearly more weight behind you. It wants to wheelie more because of the mass behind the axle. It's a wild ride.
Yep.
There's nothing else like it.
Wait until we get that other key fixed and you're gonna take it for a ride again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm one of those sand rails out on the dunes that's just like doing the big old wheelie.
Oh yeah.
I'm shrunk down 5 times.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get it fixed.
All right.
So you about got it.
Yeah.
So we just need a key in there. We need to prevent it from
This key
happening
is
again.
fine, but what happened was it slid out. So we installed more key. So that's going to hopefully keep that from happening again.
This thing is crazy. Absolutely bananas. I knew that would happen. I hit traction and then it was like, launched me.
Don't wreck it again, John.
This is not right. Oh, it happened again. It happened again. I think it happened again.
Give it. Yes! So the key did it again. Need more key.
This is not right. It's just wrong.
Come on, let me get it back together and you can take it out for a third try.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Whoa! That is so wrong. Whoa! I'm speechless.
That thing is insane. Sounds like it's just taking it down the road to check it out.
Wow. Oh.
Dang, he's doing the full hot lap. He's gonna get so muddy.
You're just slingshotting. This is just pure mud out here.
Here he comes. Now he's deciding maybe we ought not to do the hot lap.
Dude, this is just, it's bananas.
It is.
Look what I did. I tried to make a lap. It's just so muddy out there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
The crazy, dude, like 30-40% throttle is all I ever got to, other than just small gags out here. It's just too much power.
Whoa, wait a minute, sir. Too much power?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as too much power.
There's not enough driver.
That's it.
So, I mean, to unlock this thing's full potential, we need drier conditions,
Yes.
but we need longer travel suspension, bigger front wheels. That's the only way we're gonna be able to use this power around the track.
Maybe a little wider too.
Yeah. This is a wild ride.
Yes, it is. You got a little muddy out there, bud.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's bad. I don't think we'd ever need more on this.
No, absolutely not.
It's crazy, like, and we have shorter wheelbase than your standard go-kart, but about 7 times the horsepower.
Right.
So it's so much twitchier than your standard go-kart, especially when you consider this amount of power. So I think we knocked it out of the park in the power department.
Yep.
I think in order to really put down this power around the track, we need better suspension.
Okay. Maybe a little wider too.
Better suspension, wider. This thing is going to be ready to absolutely rip. So thank you all for watching this video. Be sure you're tuned in for the next installment of the sketchiest full suspension kart on eBay with way too much power. Maybe we'll be able to rein it in, tame the beast with some suspension mods. So hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, folks. Visit Go Power Sports for all your small engine needs. We'll catch you next time.
Just to say, I don't want a shake weight, period. And I'm just wondering about that 5 minutes. And I've never used them. Is 5 minutes a long time for a shake weight?
I've never used one. I don't know.
I've never used one either. Green's my favorite color.
Okay.
All right. I'm not liking the way this is going.